TWM podcast.
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
Hello, and a big welcome to TWM Talks, this special edition. Matty Diller here. I'm here to literally give you the admin and the spiel before we get into this podcast, because it is a big one. A TWM podcast, bringing you wrestling content 6 days a week, available on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, Podbean, TuneIn, YouTube, and wherever else you get your pods. This is probably our biggest guest ever, and I'm saying this a lot, which is fantastic to hear, because you're about to hear when Shirley sat down with the Queen Charlotte Flair. Not only is it a massive interview, it's a very interesting one. I think you're going to get a look at a different side of the Queen, the 11-time women's champion, because, funnily enough, a little backstory is Shirley and Charlotte are friends. They've been friends for many years, so it's almost as if you're actually getting involved on a conversation between some friends that haven't seen each other in a while. So it's very a fascinating listen. I reckon you guys are going to absolutely enjoy it. Also, this is being recorded in a very interesting place. Shirley had a captive audience of 30 very well behaved primary school children, because in her IRL job, like we all have because we do it for the passion here at TWM Wrestling, she's a school teacher and had to record this interview just before the school day started. So if there's a little bit of an echo, it's because it's an echoey classroom, but I will say shout out to the very well behaved group of children that sat there and waited patiently as Charlotte was interviewed by our own Shirley. Anyway, enough from me, let's jump right into it. You guys are going to love this. This is when Shirley spoke to the Queen Charlotte Flair.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Charlotte.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you? This is insane, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, of all the people to be put on call with you, it's me.
I think I've known you 5 years now?
Yeah, 5 years, 6 years.
5 years, yeah.
Mental, but yeah, I've got like 10 minutes to talk with you. This is because before my class come in, I'm literally recording in my classroom right now.
Yeah.
So you ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hello, this is Shirley for TWM Talks, and I am here with a very special edition with a woman who can only be described as a living legend in this business. In her relatively short career, she has won 10 women's championships, and she's main evented WrestleMania. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Queen Charlotte Flair. How are you?
Thank you, Shirley. That introduction was amazing.
So how have you been?
Well, I'm engaged.
Yes, I know. That's literally.
No, I've been great. When you said main event WrestleMania, it still doesn't feel real. And then with WrestleMania 3 months away now, wow, how has it already been a year?
Yeah.
Where did the year go? And
like, your year has been crazy, not just professionally, from going from main events in WrestleMania, wrestling Trish Stratus, going into the tag scene. You've also had quite a breakthrough this year with your engagement, which is literally the first night I was going to say, congratulations on finally getting engaged to Andrade.
Well, I don't think the tag teaming was my finest moment, but we leave that out. But yeah, no, professionally and most importantly, personally, it's been probably the craziest year.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah, I mean, like, from looking on your social media, you just seem so happy with Andrade, and you just mesh so well together. So, like, how has that, like, that's obviously uplifted you in a way that's not been seen. So how has that influenced your in-ring?
So he's definitely brought out a lighter side to me. And I've said this in a few interviews, but coming off of Evolution, that was, a year? So not last year's fall, correct?
Yeah, so it was 2018.
And then we started seeing each other. I felt professionally I had kind of lost my confidence, especially with the fans.
Yeah.
And when I met him, he instilled a new confidence in me. And then working with me on certain things, like I can help him with presentation, whereas he can work with me on being who I am, just, outside of the ring. And I also think through life experiences with him and traveling the world and falling in love and all of the above, I think having, before where it was just work, having those outside experiences allowed me to feel more or have more to pull from professionally with my in-ring storytelling.
Yeah. I noticed there was a point last year where you did take a step back, and would you say it was to have those life experiences with Andrade?
Well, no, what I mean is, like, before it was just work, and I'd go home, think about work, not do anything, go back on the road, and it was just nonstop. And then when I met him, I wouldn't even call it a distraction, but everything that we were doing outside of work, I was bringing to work. Like, I was lighter, happier, and then with all these new experiences, I felt it made me more creative.
Yeah, and I think that's what you need. You need to have that work-life balance, and if you don't have that work-life balance, you have really bad mental well-being, and it's good.
And by no means do I have a mental well-being, but if you're on 24/7 and you're not taking a chance to step away from being, like for me, stepping away from being Charlotte, and then enjoying life and then bringing that to work, I don't think my work hindered, but if you look at Survivor Series versus Ronda, TLC, main eventing WrestleMania, and then the match with Trish, you could just all of a sudden see me evolve when it really wasn't, the storylines weren't for me.
Yeah, and like you evolved in a different way compared to people who you see who like evolve in front of your eyes in terms of their in-ring ability. You already have that natural ability in the ring. You evolved in terms of your personality and feeling a bit more freer in what you're doing.
Relaxed.
Yeah, relaxing. That's what I was looking.
So our camera, I'm gonna give him a shout out. His name is Stu, and he's dealt with me. He's been with the company for years, but he's dealt with me since the day I debuted. And he even went up to Andrade, and just said, "You brought something different outside of Charlotte." Even he didn't use the word swagger, but there was just something about me that was so different with the entrance for him, and. Not that I felt sexier, but there was just a different level of confidence that he hadn't seen before. Yeah,
which is, and that's good to have. It's good to feel like you can swag around. Like, I'm in love, and I don't care who knows it, basically. That's kind of where it comes. So, got a couple more questions for you. You've accomplished a lot in your career. What do you want to accomplish next?
Well, I've never won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So
that's on my list. I don't want main eventing WrestleMania to be a one-time thing. Yeah. I've said that. Okay, so we've reached the pinnacle of the women's evolution. So you're telling me that's just it?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, so we main evented, that's it.
Yeah.
So professionally for me, it's like I am so hungry for that next storyline that takes my character to another place. Yeah. Like I feel like it's not necessarily, okay, I want to main event this pay-per-view, or I want to win this title, or I want to do this. It's more like, okay, I'm looking for that next story. Okay.
And I've got an idea to put your way through a question, which is takeover, your first takeover where you won against Natty. You say a lot that was the match that kind of defined you.
100%.
Who would you give that same experience to now that you're the experienced star and there's a lot of up and coming women's wrestlers through NXT?
That's so so crazy for me to think. Like, I still think I'm the new one.
Yeah.
Okay, like, for instance, I'll talk about main roster talent. I really one day want that moment with Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there are those defining moments on the main roster. Mm-hmm. But in terms of talent from NXT, it's easy to say, okay, I want this girl or this girl, but I think there's so much talent down in NXT, from Shayna to Rhea to Bianca. I mean, anyone who comes up, I'm looking forward to, having a magic moment, but definitely Nikki Cross.
So, what about anyone in NXT UK? Because we've got quite a thriving scene out here that's growing a lot more. So we've got Toni Storm, Ginny, Katie Ray. Any one of those on your list?
Is Robbie Brookside? Zaya Brookside?
Zaya Brookside, yeah.
Zaya.
Yeah.
I think being a generational wrestler and having a parent in the business is very challenging. So I'd probably say wanting the opportunity with her, just because I know the growing pains.
Yeah.
So I'd have to give her probably a shout out and would want to work with her one day.
Brilliant.
Because I knew her, I remember when she used to come visit her dad when I was in NXT. And then now here she is. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy and Zaya's so young as well. She's only about 20 years old.
She's a baby.
She's such a baby in this business. I look at her and I think, you're so small, like baby, but she's got so much in her.
It's past your bedtime.
Yeah, basically is what it is. But I'm now going to have to wrap up this interview. So this is an opportunity for you to plug any social medias and anything that you want to promote. Feel free to promote.
Well, my Instagram is Charlotte WWE. My Twitter is MSCharlotteWWE. And Andrade and I are working on something that will come out soon. Might be a YouTube channel. Maybe arrange that. So, we're like, what can we do in our free time that we love doing together? So that will be in the future.
Yeah, that would be good. And then
you can find me every Monday night on Monday Night Raw, which is now moving to BT Sport.
Yeah. So thank you again to WWE for allowing us to do this interview with Charlotte Flair. WWE is now moving to BT Sport, so you can watch everything on BT Sports now. To follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Shirleigh Kaur. And the thing is, the Queen follows me on Twitter, so you really have no excuse. Thank you.
I do. Loyalty.
Yeah, royalty follows me. You have no excuse. Thank you very much.
No, I meant loyalty. Royalty. Loyalty.
Yeah, we're loyal to each other.
But if you want to call me royal, that's fine too.
Yeah, you're royal and loyal. It's all good. So thank you very much for listening, and be sure to listen up for more exclusive interviews here on TWM Talks.
A massive thank you to Charlotte Flair for taking the time to sit down with Shirley. This wouldn't be at all possible if it wasn't for our fantastic partners at BT Sport. In case you didn't know, I guess you do. They are the exclusive live broadcaster of WWE in the UK, showing not only Raw and SmackDown, but showing NXT and NXT for the first time on broadcast television in the United Kingdom. Alongside that, they're showing all the year's biggest pay-per-view events on BT Sport Box Office. To find out more information, just Google BT Sport WWE or go follow them at BT Sport and at BT Sport WWE. Use the hashtag WWE on BT and get involved. And you can watch BT Sport on your TV, on the amazing BT Sport app, or even try it out with a BT Sport monthly pass. We've got loads of stuff coming up over the next week, counting down to not only Worlds Collide, but the Royal Rumble. Exciting times indeed, so please keep an eye out at TWM Wrestle on all our social media platforms and at TWM News. For Shirley, for Charlotte, and for myself, thank you for listening to this special interview. We love you all, and we'll speak to you again soon.